Since its launch in 2008, Honda's all-new City has been the top pick as the petrol midsizer. However, Hyundai are planning to change that order a little bit with their new Verna. It's all new, new engines, new design, new set of features, and it's really aiming for the top spot. Can it deliver? Well, that's what we're about to find out. Now, the Verna has certainly gone through a drastic transformation. It is completely new and certainly looks it. It's no longer tame or boring. The face looks attentive and eager. The headlights look like wide open eyes. There's a new hexagonal grille, which is a family trait, and it extends down into the bumper. The L-shaped fog lights are a nice touch and heighten the car's sportiness. From the side too, the Verna looks athletic. It has a sporty, swooping roofline. The waistline rises sharply as it moves to the rear. There's a nice chunky feel to the boot, and the taillights look smart as they fan outwards. There are cuts and creases at all the right places to make this a really standout design. But while the Verna is all high street fashion, the City is about simplistic Japanese lines. And it's this simplicity that has kept the City looking fresh and stylish even today. Would you believe that it's been around for nearly 3 years now? It looked attention-grabbing then, and it still does today. The arrow-like front and large headlights really draw you to it. The ribbed grille is a very nice futuristic highlight. The wraparound taillights look nice too. Overall, in terms of looks, these two are pretty much evenly matched. The Verna's interiors are quite plush. Build and plastic quality in general are very impressive, though a few bits like the hard finished lower half of the dashboard don't feel all that great. I really don't like this wood trim here. Apart from that, I think the interiors are nice. This dash top feels very good. It has a slightly dimpled finish to it, the V shape to the dash, and this soft padding for the door panels and all really feels nice. Apart from that, what really blows you away is the equipment levels. Hyundai have really loaded this car. Now, the Verna's equipment list would make many a car from higher segments nod in admiration. The top-of-the-line SXO variant gets a smart key with keyless go, leather upholstery, 6 airbags, ABS with EBD, and even ESP. The lower spec SX variant comes packed with climate control, powered folding mirrors, parking sensors with the reversing camera integrated into the rear view, and it also has a dimming feature. There's a music system with USB and auxiliary and Bluetooth connectivity as well. It also sports 2 airbags and ABS. The Honda features ABS and 2 airbags as well. The rest, however, is ordinary fare. There's manual air conditioning and a simple USB and auxiliary in connectivity for the media player. On the inside, the Honda looks smart if unexciting. The light beige interiors give it a bright and airy feel. At the front, you get a perfect driving position, and the seats offer good support and feel grippy. They also have the right amount of firmness to keep you fresh even after many miles in the seat. The silver finish to the center console is a bit tacky, and the aircon vents are manually operated and feel very basic. Both cars have spacious rear seats, but it's the City that feels airier thanks to the larger windows. Also in the rear, the City offers better under-thigh support and proves to be slightly more comfortable when sitting 3 abreast. In the Verna, the window line is quite high and the seat is set very low, so under-thigh support is quite poor. You do end up sitting a little low here in the back seat of the Verna. However, the backrest angle isn't as reclined as on the City, and knee room is a little bit better. Hit the road with the Verna and you have Hyundai's new Gamma family motor with 1.6 liters of displacement and 121 bhp on tap. There's also 15.8 kgm of torque channelized through a 5-speed manual gearbox. Out on the road, the engine feels very refined and smooth at low revs. Once in the mid-range, the motor really builds steam and will run away all the way to the red line. As you build speed though, it does get a bit of a thrum. In comparison, the Honda feels a lot more refined and a lot more willing when given the stick. The iVTEC motor in the Honda has lesser displacement and lesser power than the Verna. It has 1.5 liters of displacement and 116 bhp of power. Torque is 14.9 kgm and easy to use.
This iVTEC motor is an absolute gem. It starts building steam at low revs and it keeps getting stronger as you pile on the revs. It gets stronger as you go to the red line. It just loves to be driven hard.
In a straight line, the City is quicker than the Verna 200 by just under 1 second. Keep building speed, and at 140 km an hour, the City with its free revving eager motor is a massive 3 seconds quicker. In the more everyday kind of driving test, in third gear, the City will go from 20 to 80 just a bit slower than the Verna. At slightly higher speeds, like in the run from 40 to 100 in fourth gear, the City proves to be more than 1.5 seconds quicker than the Verna. At high speeds, the Verna doesn't inspire much confidence either. The McPherson strut front and torsion beam at the rear have been set up too soft. The steering too isn't communicative and isn't perfectly balanced when turning. The City isn't an out-and-out driver's car either, but compared to the Verna, it just feels like a sports car.
The City suspension is stiffer, so it ends up feeling more sure-footed, more confident, especially when you drive hard. The steering too feels well-weighted and precise, so driving it hard is quite fun. The only thing is that the tires end up feeling a bit skinny. More grip would have been nice.
The suspension also has to balance handling with ride. The Verna with its soft setup should have an advantage here. In fact, at low speeds and in the City, the Verna is very absorbent and glides over all the potholes. Only the bigger potholes tend to thunk through. However, what disappoints is the body movement. There is a constant bobbing motion which only gets worse at higher speeds.
In comparison, the City really feels more sorted, more planted, and definitely ends up feeling more comfortable to be in.
That's despite the City having a stiffer low-speed ride where you really can feel the road. Apart from that, the City also gets a lot of road noise in the cabin, while the Verna feels much better insulated. Still, at the end of the day, the City offers better overall ride comfort. It is safer and more predictable to drive at higher speeds as well. The Honda engine has an edge in terms of performance, and it comes out top in fuel efficiency as well. The Honda delivers 10.1 kilometers per litre in the City to the Verna's 9.8. Out on the highway, the City manages to stretch the advantage to 16.5 kilometers per litre to the Verna's 15.3. Honda has made the City all the more formidable by slashing its price. The price tag for a City with manual transmission has gone down by a whopping 44,000 rupees for the top-of-the-line VMT exclusive variant. The price reduction goes all the way up to 66,000 rupees, and that's for the base EMT variant. So, can the Verna topple the City?
Now it's really quite close between these two. The Verna tries to woo you with class-leading levels of equipment and pricing. The City, in comparison, doesn't do itself any favors by coming with equipment levels that really feel quite Spartan and ends up feeling expensive in comparison. Both cars are attractive enough, and the City really holds its own quite well despite being 3 years old. However, to pick a winner, we have to look deeper, look within and see how they perform and what they deliver. When it comes to pampering the guy on the inside, the Verna tries a little bit harder. It's got a little bit more of a comfortable back seat. It has been set up, its suspension has been set up to offer better low-speed ride. However, it really ends up feeling nervous and twitchy. It doesn't feel confident. The City, in comparison, has a slightly stiffer low-speed ride, but it ends up feeling more comfortable across a range of speeds. It feels more sure-footed. It's the car that you really want to drive hard as well. It feels more committed and more predictable. Its tires could do with a bit more grip though. The engine is another gem. It really delivers strong performance and good efficiency. It's these advantages that help the City gain the edge over the Verna despite being a bit more expensive and under-equipped, and retain its crown as a top dog in this segment.